right, joining us on the debate, Tuhin Sinha, spokesperson of the BJP, Anandan, BJP Councillor, Vikraman R, spokesperson of the VCK, Gokul Chandran, political analyst. My first question is to you, Syed Aslam Pasha, spokesperson of the JDS. First of all, I'm sure there are plenty of people in Karnataka who also speak Hindi. For somebody from your party to say, we don't need Hindi, we don't sell panipuris. Why? Don't you have people in Karnataka who speak Hindi and do much more than sell panipuris? Or in other parts of the country, or in other parts of the world?
All right, okay. Now, Padmaja, through your channel, I would want to, as a proud Kannadiga, I want to tell everybody who's watching this show, in Karnataka, Karnatakadalli Kannadave Sarvabhauma, which means in Karnataka, Kannada is paramount. Well, that doesn't mean we respect all the languages, we respect the culture which they bring in through languages, and we are not against Hindi. We are against the imposition of Hindi. India is a great federal nation.
Sir, first
India
of all,
is a great federal nation.
When you say we respect all languages, this doesn't reek of respect. When your party chief says, अरे ये हिंदी बोलने वाले, ये तो पान बीड़ा बेचते हैं, ये हैंकचिफ बेचते हैं, ये पानी पूरी बेचते हैं, क्यों? पहली बात तो हैंकचिफ बेचने में कोई खराबी नहीं है, दूसरी बात पानी पूरी बेचने में कोई खराबी नहीं है, और तीसरी बात पानी पूरी हैंकी से बहुत ज्यादा लोग बेचते हैं जो लोग हिंदी बोलते हैं।
मैं बताता हूं आपको। So
where is your respect?
I said very clearly
when you mock other people.
Right. Padmaja, I said very clearly, even I speak Hindi, I speak Hindi very fluently. We clearly mentioned in the beginning, I clearly mentioned that we don't hate Hindi. We hate the imposition of Hindi. As
you
I
may
said,
not
Karnataka
hate, sir, but your party is mocking the language, and that is the mindset which is a problem.
The language at all.
You first say we want to be treated equally. Hindi is being given a superior status, and then in trying to prove that Hindi is not superior, you make it seem like some third-grade language.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would not get into such discussions. I don't want to get entangled into such.
But this is being discussed, sir, on the day that the entire country, or at least the Hindi speakers, are celebrating their language. What is the need for this casual parochialism? You want respect. You won't give respect. You feel slighted when Hindi Diwas is celebrated. I feel slighted when Hindi is called the language of panipuri sellers. I feel very bad.
Can I speak now?
I have grown up speaking Hindi.
Now? You have asked me multiple questions. Let me peacefully respond to all your questions. First of all, we have respect for all the languages which are spoken in India. In India, more than 1,000 languages are spoken. India is a great federal nation with more than 560.
Then do you think Mr. CM Ibrahim should apologize?
Let me speak. Allow me to
for
speak.
A very casual and may I say a very hurtful and insulting comment. Do you think he should apologize?
No, let me finish. Now, you need to allow me to speak. If you're going on with your questions, you should allow me peaceful 30 seconds to respond. When I say more than 560 provinces have come together to form India as a great federal nation, it has come together with different social and cultural ethos. We have respect for all the religion. We have respect for all the languages which are spoken. We love our language in Karnataka. Similarly, there are multiple other regions which love their own language.
Sir, you are not answering my basic question.
We are not
First of all,
any language.
on multiple occasions, we have busted this bogey, which has become a calling card for any parochial politician. Hindi is being imposed. Hindi is being imposed. Nothing is being imposed. You are sitting here, you speak in whatever language you want. It happens to be an English channel, you speak in English. You go back home, you speak in Kannada. Nobody is imposing anything on you. But equally, nobody is coming to Karnataka and saying, oh, you know, Karnataka is only a language of people who sell X thing. Or Kannada is only a language of people who sell handkerchiefs. Nobody is saying that.
And dare anyone does it. We say that we love.
Then why does your party chief dare to so casually say you guys sell hankies? Oh, you now want, you are like, oh, you dare not say this. How do you dare to say this and get away with it, sir? Pehle it was the DMK. Now you are also saying it, but it is okay.
Padmaja, I'm very, very categorically saying it again. We have respect and love to all
if you want to show respect and love, sir, tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., Mr. Ibrahim should apologize. Would you personally ask for that?
What we hate the imperialism, the Hindi imperialism.
Where is the imperialism? You are sitting there on TV talking in a language of your choosing. CM Ibrahim is the one who's sitting there poking fun at Hindi, and you can't even call him out and say that he should apologize. Where is the respect and love?
Padmaja, you can try and stop me as much as you want, but the answer is very simple. We love all the languages. We love
I am not stopping you. In fact, I am actively encouraging you, requesting you to at least commit to an apology, because for you it may not be a big thing. But there are in our country, you may think very lowly of them, but there are in our country people who speak Hindi, proudly, who wear it as a badge of honor. And just like you feel insulted, they also feel insulted.
We live in the beautiful nation. We live in a beautiful nation where multiple religions, caste and creed, people are living together with brotherhood. Like a Home Minister says that Hindi can unite people. We are already living with unity.
Sir,
we are living with unity in
10
diversity.
seconds ago when I said that nobody comes into Karnataka and says Kannada speakers only are, handkerchief sellers, you said, oh, they dare not say it. Then why does your party chief dare say it, sir? How is this okay?
Madam, I am vociferously and unequivocally protesting against the Hindi Diwas. Nobody can celebrate state-sponsored or the government-sponsored.
You are again and again going back to that straw man argument while refusing to condemn or ask for an apology for someone who has wantonly insulted a language which you claim is being imposed on you. No one has shown imposition. You have conversely mocked that language, but no apology to offer. That is the strange thing, sir. Anandan, should respect be reciprocal? If Tamil-speaking people demand respect, if Kannada-speaking people demand respect, shouldn't they offer that same respect to Hindi speakers? That's what India is, right? All languages are equal.
Very much. Very much. First, I would like to ask, they are telling it is imposition. Yes, Mr. Amit Shah, Narendra Modi ji holding a AK-47 on their forehead and telling speak only in Hindi, celebrate only Hindi? No. It is their basic insecurity. Just because they are celebrating Hindi Diwas, how does Kannada and Tamil lose its importance? And let me tell you one more thing. It is Mr. Modi ji and who has repeatedly spoken about the greatness of Tamil language. Second, I would like to ask, don't interrupt. Don't interrupt. We did not interrupt when you were talking. So keep quiet. Next, I would like to ask Mr. VCK. They follow E.V. Ramasamy, who said that Tamil is the language of barbarians. Nobody should speak. Even with your dog, with your servant, speak in English, he said. And these people are the followers of that person. That is not insult for them. This is insulting. It is totally a political thing they want. They don't want to accept. Hindi is the language that binds us. Outside Chennai, I cannot survive. If I go to Bihar, if I go to Delhi, that is my livelihood. Why Mr. Stalin's daughter's school? Do they teach Tamil? Tamil medium, there are no takers in Tamil Nadu. In Tamil Nadu, nobody wants to study Tamil medium itself. So let us not be hypocritical and create a mountain out of a nothing.
Let's not create divides.
How insecure can you be?
Okay, Vikraman, this is nothing but a bogey, a straw man.
Are you insulting Tamil?
Okay, go on. Vikramanar, answer.
Yes.
One, that it is a bogey, a bogus argument, that of imposition. And two, how does anything justify insulting another language? Why would you not offer the same respect to Hindi that you expect, sir?
That's a good question. When I ask,
why should they take E.V. Ramasamy, who insulted Tamil language?
Should I answer?
First, let him answer that. First, let him answer for upholding E.V. Ramasamy Nayakar, who insulted and who said Tamil is the language of barbarians.
Answer that, Mr. Vikraman.
He has no face at all. Vikraman has no face to talk about it.
Okay, let me talk. Cool down. Okay, the point is, if they celebrate Hindi Diwas, when are they...
You cannot talk. You have no points to talk.
Let him answer, ma'am. Go on, Mr. Vikraman.
Okay, why is she screaming now? Okay, fine. See, if they are conducting Hindi Diwas, why don't they conduct Tamil Diwas? Why don't they conduct Telugu Diwas? Why don't they conduct Kannada Diwas? With public exchequer, they celebrate only Hindi and Sanskrit, and you want us to keep quiet and clap our hands like this? Oh my God, good Hindi Diwas is happening. Should we clap our hands like this? Should Tamilians do that? Should Kannadigas do that? Should Telugu people do that? And do you think we all are clowns to just sit and watch people doing it? This female has got votes from Tamil Nadu and she is talking against Tamil. Proudly she is talking against Tamil and she is favoring Sanskrit. Why? Because she is a Brahmin. She will celebrate only Sanskrit. She will celebrate only Hindi. She will call Tamil a Nisha Bhasha. What is a Nisha Bhasha? That cannot be touched. The untouchable language. Because that female, she got votes from Tamil people and she is talking against Tamil. This is how they are. This is how they are. These Brahmins are like that only. I'm not coming to that argument. I'm asking why this union government is spending a lot and lot of money, not just small money, 600 crores of money on Hindi and Sanskrit. How are they superior to other languages? Tell me. How is it superior to Tamil? Tamil is way older than Sanskrit and Hindi, no?
Sir, Hindi is so not superior.
The Prime Minister...
Okay, on the celebration of the Divas, I will get in Tuhin Sinha. But before he responds, I again draw you back to my initial question. Isn't respect reciprocal? On the slightest hint or even the imaginary slight to Tamil language, you pick up cudgels against Hindi. But it is okay for DMK MP to say, oh, if you speak Hindi, then you will be like Shudras. Hindi would reduce Tamils to the status of Shudras. Hindi-speaking states are not developed ones, and the ones in vernacular language as mother tongue are the only ones doing well. It is okay for DMK to say that. It is okay for JDS to say, you guys are only selling hankies. Why? Why this casual disregard for other people's sentiments?
Politicians must hang their head in shame because they let their citizens, let their state people to go to other state and sell panipuris, and they are like keeping their status of living like that. What is their per capita income in UP? What is their per capita income in UP? How many MPs do they have?
Are you generalizing everyone from Uttar Pradesh as a pani puri seller?
Of course I'm generalizing. Those people are actually betrayed by their politicians.
I have to inform you, sir, I come from the state of Uttar Pradesh. I am proudly Hindi speaking, and while I respect selling pani puris as a very, very respectable profession, I certainly do more than sell pani puris or sell handkerchiefs or sell pan bidas. This is the kind of ridiculous superiority and language supremacism that calls out your own hollow politics. Before, just a second, sir. For you to sit on national TV and brand everyone from Hindi-speaking states as white-collar workers is extremely disrespectful. Blue-collar workers is extremely disrespectful. And while we are on the topic...
What is the per capita of the state? Tell me.
Hold on a second.
You are a journalist, no?
While we are on the issue, hold on a second. Don't get hot under your white collar. Let me actually pray out for you. I don't know if you can hear this. Hold on.
माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी, केंद्रीय और राज्य के मंत्रीगण और उपस्थित अतिथिगण, मैं भले ही महाराष्ट्र में पला बड़ा हूं, लेकिन मेरी स्वर्गीय माताजी का वतन उत्तर प्रदेश है.
Okay, you heard that. You don't understand Hindi. Let me actually tell you what this gentleman just said. He said, I may be living in Maharashtra, but my mother hails from Uttar Pradesh. Wild guess. Who do you think this man is? Speaking in Hindi. Must be a pani puri seller.
See, what I said was...
Who is this man? Wild guess, sir. Come on.
From the Hindi-speaking
This man, just for your information, is Anand Mahindra, whose net worth, even as we speak, is $2.3 billion. He hails from Uttar Pradesh, he speaks Hindi, he speaks English, and maybe he speaks other languages, and he earns $2.3 billion. That is his net worth. So please brush up a little bit. Tuhin Sinha, when you celebrate Hindi Diwas and don't celebrate others, you reveal your own partisanship.
What is his name? You are talking about Mr. Adani.
Good evening.
I'm talking about Anand Mahindra. You want to learn more?
Okay.
Let me name for you other people. Unfortunately, I think you wanted to deliver a punchline about Hum Do Hamare Do, Adani Ambani. No, this is Anand Mahindra. Added to that, Sandeep Maheshwari, motivational speaker, $4 million net worth. Dr. Vivek Bindra, business coach, author, YouTuber, net worth $7.5 million. Alak Pandey, CEO, Physics Wala, net worth $7.23 million. All Hindi speakers hail from North India and sell much more than handkerchiefs as you seem to think.
All over India from UP and Bihar, tell me.
So,
why there are
people from your state come to Delhi as well. What's the big deal? Who are you to decide who works where?
Then how do you
Plenty
say
of people come here, work in NCR, work in Uttar Pradesh. You don't get to decide who works where.
Then why the
You
Prime
don't own
Minister
Tamil
is
Nadu.
going and saying in the world?
You don't own Tamil
why the
Nadu.
Prime Minister is saying
You don't own
Hindi
it.
is made
It's as
in
much
India.
my state, it's as much the state of Tuhin Sinha as yours, sir. You don't own it.
Prime Minister has
You
any
do not
guts to
own
say
it.
this to the
Good
public
morning.
arena
You do
that
not
they,
own
the
it.
Bihar people and
It
UP
is
people,
Indian state.
per
It is
capita
our
income
state.
is like that. I'm
Tuhin
talking
Sinha.
about the facts here. I'm talking about
I'm
the
talking about
statistics. If
facts.
you're a journalist,
You wanted to know why poor, bed-ragged people from UP speaking their Hindi are coming to your state. Wake up call. They don't. They are also coming and earning plenty of capital for you and the rest of the country. Tuhin Sinha, you are betraying your bias when you don't celebrate Tamil Diwas.
You tell me what is the per capita of UP and Bihar? You tell me.
I'm quite surprised at your patience to entertain this puerile, rant from this person. Padmaja, what we are witnessing, we have heard about Hindu phobia so far. What we have witnessed today by JDS is a very toxic and a petty form of Hindi phobia. You can understand where the JDS is coming from. It is a sub-regional party. It is a regional player within Karnataka. Where, so obviously, with the way it has been languishing in the last few years, it had to do something outrageous to draw the eyeballs. But the point is, if you look at what the Honorable Home Minister has spoken today, he has talked about adoption of Swabhasha, and Swabhasha could be anything. Our point is basically that if you encourage your mother tongue, the mother tongue will complement the Hindi Bhasha and vice versa. And why Hindi is important today is because as a linked language, 44% of the population use it as the primary language. It is but obvious that needs to be the linked language. If the Nagaland BJP President Mr. Along speaks Hindi so well, is that an embarrassment for him or is that a matter of pride for him? If Mr. Kiran Rijiju speaks Hindi so well, is that an embarrassment for him or is it a matter of pride for him and for the entire country? So this is what these parochial regional players don't get. If you refer to what the Honorable Prime Minister has spoken about the Hindi language has helped him connect with people from all parts of the country and helped him attain the position or helped him reach where he is. But obviously JDS is very happy being a sub-regional player confined to a handful of half a dozen districts of Karnataka. So obviously they have to do something outrageous.
And the funny thing is, Syed Aslam Pasha, you continue to harp on this despite the fact that today the Chief Minister of Karnataka has said, and let me quote him, before there are further, half-truths peddled, a special law is being brought in to ensure the larger use of Kannada language. He has committed to a law to ensure larger use of Kannada language. Where is the imposition? In fact, he's saying we want to have furtherance of Kannada.
Yeah, first of all, I would want Tuhin Sinha to apologize on national TV. He cannot use words such as rant. If you think the other languages other than Hindi or rant,
of course you are ranting.
You don't have a right to sit in national TV and speak like that. You have to apologize.
There is no
you have to apologize. How dare you speak like this? Do not try to put your supremacy here. Do not try to put your supremacy here. If you are an educated individual, learn to respect the other languages. If you are an educated individual, learn to respect the other languages.
No, Mr. Syed Aslam Pasha, very respectfully, let me step in and say no language is being called a rant. It was the content of showing down another language
where
Mr. Vikraman...
I am a proud Kannadiga.
Absolutely.
I am a proud Kannadiga.
But you do not find offensive that Mr. Vikraman just sat there and said, all you people from UP are coming there and their governments are sending them because they cannot earn in UP, they go to other states. When people of UP were insulted, you are not offended by that.
Padmaja, Tuhin Sinha has to apologize. He is demeaning the other languages other than Hindi. He has to apologize. He cannot call it a rant. How can you speak like this?
Okay, Tuhin Sinha respond to that, then I really must bring in Mr. Gokul Chandran. Yes, go on. Okay, seems like Tuhin Sinha has just been disconnected. Let me bring in Gokul Chandran. Does it just become an easy stick to beat people with? When you are a little low on popularity, nothing gets people's backs up as saying, Tamil khatre mein hai, Kannada khatre mein hai, आओ हिंदी के खिलाफ खड़े हो जाएं. Gokul Chandran. What a facile argument.
Yeah, good evening, Padmaja.
Good evening, sir.
हिंदी दिवस का ये अवसर में सबका शुभकामनाएं.
आपको भी.
Okay, see, I don't respect any language. I love all languages, and my only concern here is, see, anybody can sell anything. It is nothing related to language. People can sell panipuri, even the Tamilians can sell panipuri, the Malayalis can sell panipuri. So the job which they are doing, they should be respected for that, irrespective of whatever language they are speaking. So let us not in future relate any job with the language which is being spoken. See, until and unless if the Gujarati duo who are sitting in Delhi are selling the nation, that can be questioned. Otherwise, everything should be accepted, and any job the people are doing, the language shouldn't be connected to them. Let it be a small job or a big job, because this is what we did with the caste system. With what people are doing, which job people are doing, and we assign a caste to them, and we assign them it is a lower caste or a upper caste. Same way, today what we are doing, we are assigning a language to people who are selling panipuris are called Hindi speakers, people who are selling diamonds are called Gujarati speakers, and there comes the division again. So to avoid this division and to be united, let us not assign a language to people or set of people.
Mr. Syed Aslam Pasha, would you like to respond? Would you like to respond to Gokul Chandran? Here is the Congress is offering you some words of wisdom, not the BJP. I mean, and Gokul Chandran should know his party has been led through 90% of its history by Hindi speakers.
No, Padmaja, I like I said, we don't want to demean any language by calling it a rant like Tuhin Sinha. I am very clear. We respect all languages, and there is no way anyone can speak ill about any language. All languages have their own respect, and people speaking those languages should be respected in the same way.
But it doesn't show, sir. And I have quoted to you maximum examples from Mr. T.K. Salangovan saying that this is a language that would reduce you to a Shudra, to saying that Manuvad will come in if we start speaking Hindi, to your party chief saying that, oh, these guys are just going to come and start selling hankies and panipuris, and we don't need to do that, so there is no reason for us to learn Hindi. I don't see where the respect is.
Two very important facts which you called out. Now, you spoke about Basuraj Bommai bringing in an act. I'm sorry, Kannada doesn't want, Kannada or Kannadigas don't want an act to protect our language. We definitely know how to protect our language, and we will definitely
So when Kannada is promoted, it is a problem. When Hindi Diwas is celebrating, that is also a problem. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
He is at a sticky wicket. He is talking only because he has become a slave of his imperialism. He has become a slave of his imperialistic attitude of his high command.
Okay.
We don't want any
From Manuvad we went to parochialism, and now we've gone straight to imperialism. Let me bring in Uma Anandan as well. Uma Anandan wants to respond to you. Uma Anandan wants to respond to you. Yes.
See, first I want to say what Mr. T.K. Salangovan said is wrong. One, he was telling anybody can become a king, there only Kshatriyas in the North India. No, even in South India, the Cholas, Cheras, the Pandyas and all belong to the Kshatriya clan only. So let him not bring about Manu and all this and this. It is unwarranted here. But
Because you
First,
don't want
I
to
would
speak
like to
about
ask
it. You
my
don't want to
Tamil
speak
Nadu
about
people.
it.
They are so much shouting about this Tamil language being insulted. Yeah, I think Modi ji is the only Prime Minister who has spoken about the supremacy, the greatness of Tamil language every time, so many times. When Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman spoke about our ancient Tamil, these people didn't even know to answer. They didn't even know from which literature she was talking, the Tamil. And these people are talking horse. First, E.V. Ramasamy Nayakar said, Tamil is the language of barbarians. Let Mr. Vikraman answer that first.
Okay, Mr. Vikraman does want to answer you, yes.
Is that not an insult? Mr. Amit
His
Shah
name
and
is
Modi have
Tandai
not
Periyar.
insulted
It's
that.
not E.V. Ramasamy Nayakar.
Right.
He has not preferred to be called that way. If
For
you
Tandai
keep
Periyar.
on referring to me in a caste manner, in a casteist manner, that won't be nice, I'm telling you. I'm warning you again. And again, I'm telling you, nobody is disrespecting any language here. When Hindi and Sanskrit is promoted at the cost of public exchequer, we are rightful to question them.
E.V. Ramasamy Nayakar did it. E.V. Ramasamy Nayakar said Tamil is a language of barbarians. Answer to that
How
first.
casteist this female is, and you bring her to a public debate when somebody prefers to be not called that way, and when he denounced caste, and you still want to name him with his caste name. Is this your culture? I'm asking you, is this your culture?
First, I'm quoting him. You answer to my question.
Tell his
You
name
answer
properly,
to my
yeah.
question.
Tell his
Tamil
name
is the
properly.
language of barbarians,
Okay.
he
If
said.
you are
Answer that
civilized,
first.
I
Answer
think
be a
that
civilized
first.
person.
I think
First,
everyone
believe
has
that
found a
this
way to
civilized
dance
debate-
around the central question. If you are demanding respect, nobody is saying any language is superior. All languages are equal, and which is why they demand equal respect. They deserve equal respect. Please do not think that it is okay and you are free to insult someone else only to show the supremacy for all your own language. That being said, for anyone who talks about Hindi imposition, let me quote to you something that the Prime Minister said in May this year itself, where he said during his Chennai visit that Tamil language is an eternal language and Tamil culture is the one culture that is, was and will remain a global culture. I don't know what is being imposed. Thanks very much, all gentlemen. Uma Anandan for joining us, and a happy Hindi Diwas to all of you. Almost 24 hours ago, Bihar was witness to a scene that was like their worst fear come true. A scene that most people in the state would have only seen in the movies, but today it was before their eyes. In Begusarai, two bike-borne killers went on a rampage. The two gunmen fired indiscriminately at people in a crowded area without any fear of the police. They carried out this mad shooting spree across 4 police station areas, covering a distance of 30 kilometers in about 40 minutes. And yet, the police could not intercept them. Imagine for 40 minutes these gunmen had a free run. The police didn't have an inkling.
हम पिरौली जा रहे थे, चाय लाने जा रहे थे, तब मारा था हमको। ये आ रहा था बछवाड़ा टाइप से, एकदम स्लो किया, मारा, चलते बना, 1 मिनट भी नहीं रुका।
हम सर वहाँ पर आइसक्रीम बेच रहे थे, ठेला पर बैठे थे, पैर वाला इधर था लटका, मुंडी था इधर घुराया, तरतरीने चले गए।
उधर से आया 6 आदमी था, 3 बाइक था। उधर से आया, पहले आइसक्रीम वाला को मारा, उसके बाद फल वाला को मारा, फल वाला झुक गया, वही गोली इस पे लग गया और एक आगे से हमको मारा। हम यहाँ पे बैठे हुए थे, इस पे लग गया। उसके बाद एक मछली वाला को मार दिया, उसके बाद चले गया।
To top that, it's been 24 hours since then, and the gunmen are yet to be identified, leave alone be arrested. Meanwhile, 7 cops have been acted against for not carrying out their duty. But what was truly shocking is that when the CM was asked about the lack of action so far, he laughed and said, "It happens."
हमने तो अधिकारियों को कह दिया कि इस तरह की घटना एक एक चीज पर नजर रखे रहिए। हम तो कर ही रहे हैं कि जब एक बार हो गया तो इसका मतलब समझ लीजिए कहीं भी कुछ हो सकता है।
गुंडा राज है, जंगल राज है, परिभाषा मुख्यमंत्री ने बदल दी है, वो परिभाषा जनता राज का। मुझे आश्चर्य होता है, अगर ये जनता का राज है तो जंगल राज किसे कहते हैं? अगर क्या आपको डर लग रहा है कि जंगल राज कहेंगे तो तेजस्वी जी आपको गद्दी से उतार देंगे?
30-40 किलोमीटर की दूरी तय कर लिया अपराधियों ने और लगातार गोली मारते जा रहे हैं और बताया जा रहा है कि करीब 50 राउंड से ज्यादा गोली चलाई है। तो ये बहुत दुर्भाग्य है बिहार का। और देखिए, जब से महागठबंधन की सरकार बिहार में बनी है, अपराधियों का मनोबल बढ़ गया है। उनको लगता है कि ये हमारी सरकार है और उनको लगता है कि उनको संरक्षण मिला हुआ